Have you ever found yourself sitting down to work on something important, only to look up an hour later and realize you've been deep diving into the history of competitive eating or scrolling through endless social media feeds? For many of us, especially those with ADHD, this struggle with focus isn't a lack of desire, but a daily battle against a brain wired a little differently. It can feel frustrating, overwhelming, and sometimes even defeating. Welcome. Today we're going to explore how to build what I call systems that stick for focusing with ADHD. This isn't about quick fixes or unrealistic expectations. It's about understanding how your brain works and creating sustainable strategies that genuinely support you. ADHD isn't a character flaw, it's a neurobiological difference. Your brain's chemistry, particularly with neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine, means it has a harder time filtering out irrelevant information, staying on task, and managing impulses. But here's the hopeful truth. We can learn to work with that wiring, not against it. We can design our lives to support sustained attention and productivity. Let's dive into some practical, evidence-informed approaches. Think of this journey in 3 acts. First, we understand the landscape. Second, we build our tools. And finally, we embed these tools into our daily lives for lasting change. Our first act begins with creating a fortress for your focus, structuring your environment. Your surroundings play a massive role in attention. Imagine trying to read a book in a bustling, noisy market. It's nearly impossible. The same principle applies to your workspace, whether physical or digital. Start by crafting a sensory-friendly workspace. This means reducing visual clutter. Clear off your desk. Less stuff equals fewer visual cues vying for your attention. Consider noise-canceling headphones if sounds are a distraction, or perhaps a white noise machine. Ensure your lighting is adequate, as poor lighting can strain your eyes and make focusing harder. It's about making your physical space a calm ally, not a sensory adversary. Next, tackle digital distractions. This is a big one in our modern world. Those endless notifications on your phone, the dozens of open browser tabs, the email alerts, they're all tiny interruptions that pull your focus away. Turn off non-essential notifications. Route calls to voicemail during dedicated work blocks. Limit your browser tabs, perhaps even using a browser extension that forces you to focus on just one. Designate specific times for checking emails and social media, rather than letting them dictate your attention throughout the day. This isn't about deprivation, it's about strategic management. Moving into our second act, let's talk about time management and task breakdown techniques. One of the biggest hurdles with ADHD is the sheer overwhelm of a large project. It feels like eating an entire elephant. The solution? Task slicing. Break down that enormous project into the smallest, most manageable steps possible. Instead of write report, try outline section 1, research point A, draft paragraph 1.1. Each small win builds momentum. A classic strategy that often works wonders is the Pomodoro Technique. You set a timer for 25 minutes and commit to working on one specific task without interruption until the timer rings. Then you take a short 5-minute break. After 4 Pomodoros, you take a longer break. This method harnesses your brain's natural ability for focused bursts and prevents burnout, providing structured periods for both intense work and necessary mental rest. Consider time blocking too. Think of your calendar not just for appointments with others, but for meetings with yourself for deep work. Schedule specific blocks for focused tasks. This externalizes the decision-making of what to do when, freeing up mental energy and creating a commitment. And don't underestimate the power of self-imposed deadlines. Sometimes a little beneficial urgency is just what an ADHD brain needs to kick into gear. Alongside time management, robust organizational tools are essential. Your brain might struggle with internal working memory, so externalize it. Use reminder systems, your smartphone calendar, sticky notes, a physical whiteboard, or digital apps. The key is consistency and having one trusted system where everything lives. Create daily focus lists. At the start of each day, identify your top 1 to 3 priorities. This isn't an exhaustive to-do list. It's a grounding anchor for what truly matters. And for those random, distracting thoughts that pop up while you're trying to focus, did I leave the stove on? I need to remember to buy milk. Create a parking lot for thoughts. This could be a designated notebook or a digital note. When a distracting thought arises, simply jot it down without judgment. Acknowledge you'll address it later, and then gently redirect your attention back to your task. This acknowledges the thought rather than suppressing it, which often backfires. Finally, in our third act, let's look at behavioral and lifestyle interventions that create a strong foundation for focus. Small, consistent habits compound over time. Body doubling is incredibly effective for many with ADHD. This involves working alongside another person, even if they're doing their own tasks. Their mere presence can provide a subtle sense of grounding, accountability, and a shared focus. It's why library study groups or co-working spaces can be so beneficial. Similarly, consider an accountability partner, someone you check in with to share goals and progress. Mindfulness and meditation practices can also be immensely helpful, not to stop thoughts, but to gently return your focus when it drifts. Think of it as brain training for attention. Even 5 minutes a day can make a difference. Physical exercise, especially moderate activity, and spending time in nature, green time, are powerful boosts for your brain's neurotransmitters. Don't overlook the basics: consistent healthy sleep, balanced nutrition, and hydration. These are the fuel for your brain. Omega-3 supplements, while not a miracle cure, may offer a modest cognitive boost for some. And for those who struggle with restlessness, fidget toys can be surprisingly effective at channeling that excess energy, allowing your mind to focus on the task at hand. Sometimes the brain needs that subtle sensory input to stay engaged. Recognize that managing ADHD is a comprehensive journey. While our focus today is on these sustainable systems, it's worth noting that for many, medication, under the guidance of a professional, can significantly enhance the brain's ability to regulate attention and inhibit distractions, creating a foundation upon which these behavioral strategies can truly flourish. The goal is to find the optimal balance of approaches that work best for you. The path to sustained focus with ADHD isn't about perfection. It's about creating compassionate, structured systems. It's about understanding your unique brain and building an environment and set of habits that support its strengths, while gently accommodating its challenges. Start small, be patient with yourself, and celebrate every step forward. You're not alone in this, and with consistent effort, these systems will stick, allowing you to unlock your full potential.